Right, football lovers from around the world, it is Finn here, and welcome to my Afcon 2021 quarter-final prediction video. Because that is right, there are only 8 teams left at this year's African Cup of Nations. We've got 4 quarter-finals to talk about in today's video, and after Ivory Coast and Nigeria being knocked out in the previous round, I think things are only going to get a lot more interesting at this point. As I said, in today's video, we're going to be looking at the 4 quarter-finals we have to look out for. We're going to be discussing each game. And as I've been saying throughout this entire tournament, you guys seem to be loving the African Cup of Nations content, so it's only fair that I do keep it up. And of course, if you guys want to continue showing this amazing support that you have been showing me, make sure to hit the like button down below. Can we please get this video to 30 likes? I would really appreciate it. But jumping straight into the quarterfinals, we have to look out for 4 amazing games, and I think it's only fair to say at this point of the competition that every team has deserved a spot here and that all teams are playing at the top of their game. First of all, we've got Gambia versus Cameroon. Looking at Gambia, the lowest rated team out of all of the teams left in the competition, sitting at 150th in the world rankings, versus Cameroon, the hosts of this tournament, doing very well. It's going to be an interesting mashup. We've also got the likes of Burkina Faso versus Tunisia. Tunisia has definitely picked up on form this competition. The third one, it says to be announced, versus Morocco. For some reason this website isn't updated, which I don't know why it is, but we do know that it will be Egypt versus Morocco. Once again, 2 absolute giants going head to head. We then end off the quarterfinals with Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea. Once again, it doesn't show it there, for some reason it's not updated, but we do know it is Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea. As I said, the quarterfinals are going to be insane. All of these teams have definitely improved us, or has impressed us at some points in this competition. So without further ado, jumping straight into the predictions, game number 1 is going to be Gambia versus Cameroon. Now, as I said, Gambia aren't really rated very highly in terms of world football.
How dare you!
But they've definitely impressed me so far this tournament. As you can see, unbeaten so far. 3 wins, 1 draw. Obviously, they've kept 3 clean sheets this tournament. They've really impressed me, especially on the defensive front, and in terms of the attacking front, I think they've definitely taken their opportunities, and they could potentially take down a giant like Cameroon. Because looking at Cameroon, once again, exactly the same record. 3 wins, 1 draw, and one thing that I've constantly been worried about is they haven't kept a single clean sheet yet. So I think that they could be worried about that. I think regardless, it does look like they might concede in a game like this. As I said, I think it is going to be tremendously close. But in terms of a winner, I think I'm going to go for Cameroon with a 2-1 win. As I said, I have been impressed with Gambia. I think in their previous game, they did beat Guinea. And although they kept a clean sheet, I found from time to time that they left way too much space in defensive areas for the opposition to attack. Which versus a Cameroon team, which let's say they've got a fair amount of quality in their attacking positions, I feel like Cameroon are going to take those chances and capitalize on them. And Gambia might regret leaving those pockets of space. Because of that, I think Cameroon will get the win. As I said, they've been brilliant throughout this entire tournament. In my opinion, at the moment, the favorites to win the competition out of the remaining teams. They just look so strong. I do think Gambia will hold up a fight, but as I said, I just think Cameroon will take it. I think defensively they've been good, although they haven't kept a clean sheet. I still think that they've performed reasonably well. I think Onana's been brilliant between the posts, but obviously it is their attacking ability that has impressed me the most, which is why my player to watch in a fixture like this has to be good old Vincent Abubakar. I mean, 6 goals in 4 games so far this competition. We might genuinely be looking at a 10 goal in a competition kind of striker. Abubakar, absolutely a player that nobody can touch at this stage. I think he'll end up getting the golden boot, as I've said before, and will be the difference maker in a game like this. Moving on to our second final, we've got Burkina Faso versus Tunisia. Now, obviously, if we were initially heading into this game, looking at their initial performances, I think I would have definitely gone for Burkina Faso. But I'm not going to lie, since Tunisia has had some of their brilliant players come back into their squad, they've looked really, really good once more. So it's not going to be an easy prediction for me to make. Obviously, they were missing a ton of players due to various reasons. But obviously, in their previous game, they came back and they beat the Super Eagles. I mean, that Super Eagle was just flying over, having the best time of its life, and Tunisia essentially just threw a rock at it. Dead. Bird is gone. So, you know what? Tunisia definitely impressed me versus Nigeria. I think that they've showed that they still could be one of the favorites to win this competition. You can't sleep on them. So between them and Burkina Faso, I think it will be tremendously close, and I am actually going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think this is one of those games that will go to penalty shootout, which, by the way, that's been one of my favorite things so far this tournament. The penalty shootouts have been extremely dramatic and exciting so far this competition. But looking at Burkina Faso, obviously looking at them in their previous game, they won on penalties versus Gabon. I thought it was a really exciting game. I think Burkina Faso could have beaten Gabon by a lot more. They obviously missed a penalty. Other than that, I think they missed some clear attacking opportunities. But Burkina Faso looked like by far the strongest team versus Gabon. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams mash up. I do think it will go to a penalty shootout though, and my winner from the penalty shootout, it's going to be a tricky one, but I think I might just end up going with Tunisia on this one. They've just got a bit more experience in this kind of region from past experiences. So I think Tunisia will win. And my player to watch, going to be tricky. I could mention a Tunisian player who has come back from injury or COVID or whatever, but I am going to mention the likes of Bertrand Traoré. Although I've put him on the losing team, once again, throughout this entire competition, the best of the best moments from Burkina Faso, it's had Traoré in there. That man is an absolute beast in terms of attacking ability. Like, I think on his day, he could play for majority of the teams around Europe. So you know what? I think he is a real difference maker, and if Burkina Faso do end up winning, I think it will be down to him. Moving on, as I said, although it doesn't say it here, Egypt versus Morocco. By far my favorite quarterfinal coming up. Obviously, looking at Egypt, they've just beaten Cote d'Ivoire. They've just beaten the Ivory Coast on penalties. And heading into the game, I mean, obviously in my previous prediction, I predicted Ivory Coast to win. I think player by player, Ivory Coast have the best team in the entire competition, along with Nigeria and maybe one or two other teams. I thought that Ivory Coast looked tremendously strong. But Egypt, I mean, in terms of their defense, they just put up a brick wall. I thought they really dealt with that promising attack really, really well, which obviously versus Morocco could prove very, very good, as Morocco can be very deadly on the attack. I think these two teams at the moment looking very, very close, although I've seen a bit more promising performances from Morocco. Obviously, as I said, defensively Egypt looked strong on the attacking front. I think they made some brilliant runs attacking wise, and they could have shut off the game sooner. Versus Ivory Coast, although they were dominated for, I would say, majority of the match though. The only thing that worries me about Egypt versus the strong Moroccan team is the fact that Egypt took 21 shots versus Ivory Coast and only 5 on target. I mean, at this point, you do have to ask questions about, is Mo Salah the only one who knows what a target looks like at this stage? Because the majority of them don't seem to be able to hit a barn door with a tennis ball if they tried. So,
ooh, you're hard, showing off.
So versus Morocco, they do have to improve. Saying that, Morocco have also had their sloppy moments from time to time, but I do think that Morocco are going to end up taking this one. As I said, I think it could genuinely go either way. I mean, I don't know why I'm putting a 2-1. All these games have been so dramatic, it goes down to 1-0 winners. But yeah, by the way, I don't know if you guys can pick that up. A plane is flying about my house, so I hope that you guys don't hear it. It's probably the Nigerian national team flying home. But obviously, I do think that Morocco will end up winning this one. As I said, it could be tremendously close. It could be another penalty shootout situation. But yeah, Morocco have just impressed me so much this tournament. And in terms of a player to watch, I think I am going to go for the likes of Buffal. I think throughout this competition, he showed that he can score goals. He's just been brilliant in terms of his footwork, his skill. He's a very good technical player. He's one of those players that you just cannot steal the ball off of. He's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, as I said, I think this whole Moroccan team has impressed me, especially the likes of Hakimi in the right back position, scoring 2 beautiful free kicks, 2 winning free kicks from him this competition. Absolutely magnificent. As I said, I think Morocco have a brilliant team, and versus Egypt should end up getting the win. As I said though, it could genuinely go either way. Heading on to our final quarterfinals, we've got Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea. As I said, unfortunately it doesn't show it there for some reason. And of course, Senegal, a huge talking point is they might not have Sadio Mane for this quarterfinal game. Obviously picked up a head injury in their previous game, and there are talks about him missing out on a game like this. But at the end of the day, to still have Ismaili Sarr as a backup option, it's not the worst case scenario. But looking at Senegal, they will want Sadio Mane, which Can we just say, what a beast to pick up a head injury and to still end up getting the winning goal. Sadio Mane, just another beast, just a totally different animal compared to the rest. But looking at Senegal, once again, as I've said on multiple occasions, has proved how brilliant they can be defensively. Has not conceded a single goal yet this competition. Obviously scored 2 versus Cape Verde. There were obviously 2 red cards on Cape Verde's side, which I will say this. I think Senegal, the fact that they relied on them getting those 2 red cards, I do think is a bit suspect. I do think that they still have a different level they can show us. But versus Equatorial Guinea, once again, not going to be easy. Although Equatorial Guinea heading into this competition are ranked 115th or 14th in the world, obviously compared to Senegal, who are the highest rated African nation in the world. Looking at Equatorial Guinea, they are giant slayers so far this competition. They've beaten Algeria. Looking at them versus Ivory Coast, obviously in their previous game, or they obviously also beat the likes of Sierra Leone. As I said, Equatorial Guinea has proven to be giant slayers. So versus Senegal, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they ended up getting a win. But obviously looking at these two teams head to head, I don't know, once again, my heart kind of still sways in Senegal's direction, but I do definitely think Equatorial Guinea could steal the points. As I said, if you guys disagree with me on any of these, let me know down below. And obviously, if I had to choose a player to watch, if he is going to play in this game, I am going to say the likes of Sadio Mane. If not, I am going to choose Idrissa Gueye. Once again, he just controls the game from the midfield. But if he does play, it has to be Sadio Mane, although hasn't been absolutely prolific for Senegal this competition. As we saw in Senegal's previous game, when a team really lays out their defense and they look so defensively solid, they put an entire wall up. Sadio Mane is the one kind of guy who could kind of find that needle in the haystack. He could just find that one spot that no one is defending and with a pinpoint accuracy hit that spot. As I've said on multiple occasions, I think Sadio Mane on his day one of the best left wingers in the entire world, and I think that he should prove it versus a team like Equatorial Guinea. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for my quarter-final predictions for Afcon 2021. As I said, only 8 teams remaining. This competition has been absolutely insane. Once again, it's just so entirely different from European football. The way that it's played, the way that it's coached, managed, absolutely everything is different. I'm very, very happy that I decided to make content on it. Obviously, I think this round is going to be extremely exciting. I feel like we've still got a lot more surprises awaiting us, but I guess we will have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not subscribed to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. We are so close to 3,000 subscribers. If we could hit that in the next week, 2 weeks, I would really appreciate it. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have enjoyed Afcon 2021. I hope you have enjoyed this video. This has been your boy Finn, FYNN. Enjoy.